Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and welcome back to my top 20 for 2020. Now, this is going to be a top 20 killer dolls, killer mannequins, puppets, you name it. Special thank you to Joe Thehorrorman for helping me come up with this challenge, and another thank you to everyone who's participated. I really appreciate it. This is the last one, guys. So it's kind of fitting that we're ending with one of my favorite subgenres. I mean, my favorite slashers, but I love killer dolls and toys and all that kind of stuff. So let's get into it. Just keep in mind this is my list and my opinion and how I see the films. All right, coming in at number 20 is Poltergeist. But wait a minute, why wasn't Poltergeist in your haunted houses and all that kind of stuff? Well, I'm not the biggest Poltergeist fan, but I will say it earned a spot on this one for the clown alone. While I'm not the biggest fan of Poltergeist in the series itself, that part scared the crap out of me when I was younger. I'm going to be honest. So I figured it deserved a spot on this list just for that alone. So, yeah. Poltergeist coming in at number 20. And because it was such a brief part, that's kind of why I put it last. Coming in at number 19 is The Pit. This movie is fun. It's mean-spirited. It's really, really odd, but it's a favorite of mine. And this is a killer toy movie. Yeah, a killer teddy bear. But yeah, a really good film. One that doesn't get talked about enough. I love this movie. Yeah. And that's The Pit at 19. Coming up at number 18. A special thank you to Joe Thehorrorman for making me this. But this is The Devil's Gift. And I love this movie. We desperately need a DVD or Blu-ray of this with special features. I watched this with my buddy Nick, and we did it for About Last Nightmare, and this movie blew me away. I think it's fantastic. And it's at number 18. Thank you, Joe. All right. Coming in at number 17 is Doll Factory. Now, this is basically Full Moon without Full Moon. This is Wild Eye, and I love this movie. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and it's a great homage to the Full Moon movies of the past, like Demonic Toys and Puppet Master and all that. It's just so much fun. I definitely recommend this one if you haven't seen it. Doll Factory is really, really fun. And a special thank you to Brad, because I'd had my list set, and I completely forgot about this until we were talking about it. So it's because of him that this is on my list. And because I like it, but yeah, because of him. So, Doll Factory. Coming in at number 16 is Heidi. This is a found footage movie, which I'm not the biggest fan of found footage movies, but this movie blew me away. And again, it's a Wild Eye. Yeah, this movie is fantastic. Yeah, so good. All right. Coming in at number 15 is Trilogy of Terror. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to see this on other people's list, but I definitely think it deserves to be. I mean, this is a TV movie, and it's great. And the Zuni Fetish doll is just a fantastic story in this anthology. And for that alone, it makes this list. So good. I still need to see the second one. Okay, coming up at number 14. I'm sure I'm going to take some crap for this, but I like this movie. And that's The Boy. I like the sequel too. Not as much as this one, but I do like the sequel. I find The Boy to be very, very underrated. I like the concept. And here's the thing about killer dolls and killer toys, it may not always be the doll that's killing people. And I'm not trying to give anything away by saying that, but, you have to kind of take it for what it is. Brahms. He's creepy. Yeah, The Boy. Coming in at number 13 is Blood Dolls. Another full moon, and you'll be seeing full moon in this list because that's their specialty, is killer doll movies. So yeah, I love Blood Dolls. It's always been a favorite of mine. It's just a lot of fun, and there were so many I know we're not doing honorable mentions, but there were so many full moon movies that were almost made my list that just didn't make it. And that's Blood Dolls. Coming up at number 12 is Goosebumps 2. Slappy, he's awesome. And I love this movie. It's got a perfect Halloween feel to it. It's such a good movie. I definitely recommend this one if you haven't seen it. And this pretty much is Slappy's movie, where the other Goosebumps movie was more about R.L. Stine. This is pretty much about Slappy. Okay, coming up at number 11. And I wanted to put this higher, but I couldn't justify it because I like other movies a lot more than this one. But Krampus, and it's not because of Krampus, it's because of the toys that come out and attack people. I think it's brilliant. It's such a good movie. It's so much fun. It's coming to my mind now. I know Dave said it had editing problems, and one of these days I want to watch it with him just to see what he's talking about, because I don't have a keen eye like Dave does. But yeah, and that's the neighbor's car. Yeah, so yeah, Krampus coming in at number 11. If you guys can hear that, I don't know if you can. Okay. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Coming in at number 10 is Demonic Toys. Another favorite of mine. This movie's fantastic. This is, one of the movies that put Full Moon on the map, more or less, as being Full Moon, not Wizard or, the other parts of Full Moon. But yeah. Yeah, I love Demonic Toys. It's so much fun. Okay, coming in at number 9 is Saw. Billy the Puppet. I mean, he's just a great iconic character now in all of horror. And it's kind of funny because they tried to have, almost seemed like they tried to have two icons in Saw. But Billy the Puppet is the one that emerged. The other one, of course, was the guy in the pig mask, which we all know who he is now from watching the film. But in case no one's seen it, I don't want to give it away. Yeah, Saw is just awesome. All right. Coming up at number 8, I believe that's where we are, 8, is Dead Silence. Another one I wanted to put higher, but this is kind of where it falls on the list. I actually forgot it in one of my other lists because I love this movie. I think it's fantastic. I have a thing about ventriloquist dummies, if you couldn't tell from my icon. So, yeah. Dead Silence, fantastic movie. Yeah, it's really good. All right, coming up next is Annabelle Creation. I couldn't see putting a killer doll list or a killer toy list and not putting an Annabelle film on there. While I do like all three, this is the best one by far, in my opinion. Yeah. And I could have put the Conjuring ones on there, but this is more about Annabelle than those movies are, so I decided to go with an Annabelle movie rather than a Conjuring movie. But yeah, Annabelle Creation. Coming in at number 7. Coming in at number 6, another movie that I forgot to put on one of my other lists is Dolls. Big Stuart Gordon fan, R.I.P. Stuart Gordon, and this movie is fantastic. It's just equally child wonderment along with scary, horrifying film. And that's what makes it so great. He did a fantastic job with this, and I love this movie. All right, now we're cracking the top 5, guys, and coming in at number 5 is Pin. Some people may say that this doesn't belong on this list. I feel that it does. So, like I said, it's my list, in my opinion, and that's how I see it. So, Pin is fantastic. If you've never seen Pin, you are doing yourself a disservice. Another movie that we desperately need a Blu-ray of, with lots of special features. That would be so cool. Yeah, Pin coming in at number 5. And this is maybe another one that people say doesn't belong on this list, but I feel it does. And that is Taurus Trap. Yes, a majority of them are mannequins, but to me it falls in the killer toy line and exactly what Full Moon has become famous for. Even though this was before Full Moon. This is a Wizard film, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Taurus Trap, just good stuff. Overall, just good stuff. All right, coming in at number 3, and the last 3 shouldn't really shock anybody, anyone who knows me. Number 3, he finally got some props, Chucky. Yeah, Child's Play is just amazing. I saw this the first night it came out with one of my best buddies growing up, and I love this movie. It's still my favorite of the bunch, and it is creepy. Yeah. Child's Play coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 2, and this was a tough one for me because I really wanted to put Puppet Master 3 on my list, but I like this movie more every time I watch it, and I think this is my favorite Puppet Master movie now. While it's not completely Full Moon, it's kind of a joint effort, but yeah, it's just fantastic. The kills are so inventive. We get almost a completely fresh set of puppets, and it's just so much fun. Yeah. And that's Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich, coming in at number 2. This movie is fantastic. Which leaves number 1, and if people don't guess this one, I don't know what to do. And that's Magic. True, the dummy doesn't kill anybody, but, well, I'm not going to say anything more. If you haven't seen this movie, go out and watch this movie. It's so good. I have one con for this entire film, and that's the last line of the film. I think it's goofy and it's almost cringeworthy, but the movie's so good, I always give it a pass. So, Magic is fantastic. One of my favorite movies of all time. Such a brilliant performance from Anthony Hopkins in this. Everybody credits him for Silence of the Lambs. Go watch this movie. This movie is fantastic. Thank you to everyone who participated in the top 20. I'm going to dedicate this to my good buddy Frankie, one of my best friends. Most of you have seen him in one video or another. He's my boy. I don't really consider him my pet. I consider him a friend. And I'm recording this early because he's not doing too well. So, without getting upset and getting into exactly what's going on with him, he may actually not be here by the time this comes out. He may not be with us anymore. But I figured I would share a little story real quick of when we first got him. Now, we rescued Frankie from these people who they weren't very nice to him, I'll be honest. He didn't know what it was like to have toys, and we bought him all these toys. And we got him in the middle of October. And Halloween was coming up, so we bought him a costume. And the costume we bought him was a cowboy on a saddle, and the saddle was supposed to go on Frankie, so he was like the horse. And he wore it, and he was so cute, and it was just really cool. So Frankie wasn't used to having toys, so he didn't know how to play with them, and he thought that they were his, and they're supposed to be yours, and you're supposed to let him play with them. At least that's what the vet said that trains dogs. So when I tried to take it off of him, he got pretty pissed off at me. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but he left a scar that I'll have forever on my hand. He just went to town on me, but yeah. He's a good boy. So, thank you everyone for participating, and this is it, guys. Last one. If you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.